Hey guys, so guess what? It's been about 6 months since I've received my A7 IV, and I've had a chance to get to know it, set up all the custom menu buttons, which I don't think I've actually fully completed yet, but I just wanted to go over what I'm loving about the camera and why I do not regret upgrading from the A7 III. So I'm just gonna go over a bunch of little things that I like really quickly about this camera, and then further on this video, I'll get to some other pros and cons in a bit more detail. So let's get into it. So the quick little things that I love about the camera that have changed is first the size. So yes, it's actually a little bit bigger than the A7 III, which you think would be more of a disadvantage, but it's actually pretty awesome. So it's not really that much taller, but it's definitely like girthier this way. So you got, when you're holding it, it actually feels like you can get your hand around it, which is awesome, a little bit more roomier. You don't think it's gonna make that much of a difference, but it does. It feels so much better in your hand and a little bit more secure. Next is this compensation dial right on the top. So they've actually changed this and they've ditched it from the compensation dial to now like a custom one that can be locked, just so this little thing right here, if you push it in, it locks it, push it out, then you can change it. So what I have done is I actually changed this to my white balance setting. So now as I turn this, I don't have to go into any settings. I can just turn this from like 5600 Kelvin all the way down to 4200 Kelvin if I'm going inside with just this quick scroll. So that's so much easier than it used to be. Another thing are the buttons. Now this is kind of a weird one, but they're just like all these buttons on the back here. They're just, I don't know, beefier. They just feel a little bit better, like they're a little bit more high quality than the A7 III. I don't know, it sounds kind of stupid, but it makes a difference. It just feels like a higher end camera compared to the last one. I don't know. You don't need anything more than that. Just know it feels better. Another thing is all these doors on the camera here, they've all been updated, so they're more solid. They open and close and they click open. Whereas before on the A7 III, they were like some floppy things that just kind of dangled and always broke and never really weren't that robust. These are much better now. Also, quickly, these little hook and loop things on the side are solid, so they don't jingle jangle like the last ones. Again, that was so stupid, but these are much better now. Okay, now getting to the more detailed upgrades. Let's start with this program dial up here. So just under, the A7 III always had this one here, but just under it, you can see that there's a program dial that goes from photo to video to SNT mode. So when you're programming these, you also have your custom buttons up here, which is 1, 2, 3, plus you can set those, each one of those up separately for photo, for video, for SNQ, which means you have right there, you have 9 different programming modes, which is just awesome. So if you're like me, I'm often switching between photo and video really quick, and sometimes I want to go photo to 24p to 60p or 120p, and with the old A7 III, sometimes you go to video to photo really quick and your picture profile would still be on and it just ruins your photos. But now I can just switch from video and just switch this little button over to camera. It resets all my settings so I don't have a picture profile on, and I can take some photos, take a thumbnail, whatever, and then right away I can just boom, switch it back to camera, go to setting number 1, and you're ready to go back shooting, and it like defaults your settings to what they first were originally, which is just awesome. So you can switch it back, and then boom, all of a sudden you're back into S-Cinetone and you're ready to start filming again. So I just wanted to stop this video right here and thank the sponsor of this week's video, which is Cuts Clothing. Now, if you haven't been following Cuts or this channel for a while, you might not know that Cuts has developed into a full clothing brand. For the longest time, they were just a t-shirt company where they had a couple different styles of t-shirts, which were amazing t-shirts, but they have really developed into a full clothing brand over the last couple months. They've come out with things like joggers, quarter zips, outerwear, jackets, puffer vests, the list goes on. Swim trunks now, those have been amazing for the summer. These guys are always innovating. They have the softest shirts. They fit the best. I wear these shirts literally every day. You can even check through our Instagram, watch any of these videos. You'll see me always wearing Cuts. I never take them off. So if you guys are interested in getting some Cuts for yourself, or you have that special someone that's looking for some of the best clothes out there, there is a link below. If you just click that link, it'll take you to Cuts and automatically give you 15% off your next Cuts purchase. Now, let's get back to the video. And of course, yes, I'm gonna talk about the flippy screen because I don't know why. I know every single camera has this already, and Sony's very late to the game on this. Nikon's, Fuji's, I know, even Nikon outbeat Sony on this, but finally we got a flip screen. So for filming YouTube's video like this, you'd have to buy a camera, and I used to have like a stupid mirror on the top so that I could see myself when I was filming, or of course an external monitor, which is gonna be another on the cheap end, $100 all the way up to $1,000 for a really nice one. But yeah, flip screen is absolutely amazing. But also with the flip screen, they've also increased the resolution. So when you're looking at the back of the camera, it looks much better. Unfortunately, it's still not as nice as the Canons. The Canons have like a higher pixel count or something on the back that makes them nicer, but it is definitely an upgrade from the A7 III. Also now, this is a full touchscreen. So what I really like about it is when you're taking a photo, if you want to check how sharp it is, instead of hitting the magnify button on the back, you can just zoom in with your fingers, you can swipe through your photos. Finally, a touchscreen. I don't know what took that so long to either, but glad it's here and I hope it's not going anywhere. That being said, the EVF on the inside too, that's also a big upgrade from the A7C. It looks, or say A7C for sure, but the A7 III as well, so that's awesome. So Sony has also added more IBIS features to this camera, which is always appreciated. So now we have steady shot, standard, and electronic active stabilization, which is great, and I hope they keep improving this. I mean, one day I hope you don't even need to buy a gimbal to get smooth footage, just like pretty much your cell phone. Like I don't understand why the technology in your cell phone can have the smoothest footage, but yet we can't get them out of a camera this big. Of course, the new menu system is freaking amazing. It's way better than the last one. You are gonna have to get used to it a bit when coming from the A7 III, but once you do it, you go back to the A7 III and you're like, this absolutely sucks. So I shoot a lot of real estate photography and I need to be able to use a wireless remote. And on the A7 III, I used to be able to use an infrared remote, which kind of sucks because you always had to point it at the sensor. You couldn't be like around the corner, or if I was on the opposite side of where the sensor is on the camera, it wouldn't work. So yeah, now you can actually use a Wi-Fi remote with this, which there's actually none even available right now. So that's kind of a pain. But when that is available, once it's connected, it's gonna be much more easy to use. Right now, I have been able to use the Sony Imaging Edge app on my phone with the Wi-Fi, and it has been much improved compared to the A7 III. That one would always cut in and out, but as long as you keep your phone on, put your phone in sleeping mode, it disconnects. But if you keep your phone on the whole time, it will connect, and it's there's much less of a lag compared to the A7 III as well. Now, there have been some crazy autofocus features added, like eye autofocus in video, which is way more sticky for photos and video. They also have the tracking focus on as well, so that if you move to and tap an object on the screen or for photo or video, you'll actually see like a little autofocus box that will stick with it and move around the camera. So if I have a cat walking through the screen, you can just tap on the cat, and as the cat walks through, it'll track it the whole way. It's super sticky, it's super cool, and for somebody that's just run and gun shooting, it's pretty wicked. This camera's recording setting has also been upgraded to 10-bit 422, which means I can actually film and log, and they actually give us a cinetone in this camera, which I've been actually using like 90% of the time. I have no experience with any other picture profile from a Sony camera other than Cine 4 and HLG because of the A7 III that I was shooting on. But if you're grading 422 10-bit, it's no comparison between the two. Finally, the last thing that I've been loving so much is the ISO sensitivity in video. I don't really see that much of a change in photo, but we do have a bigger megapixel camera in this one as well, so that's probably why. But for the two cameras in video, I've been cranking my ISO up to like 6400 video, and it still looks so clean. I need to like do some more testing to see what that actual limit's gonna be, but on the A7 III, I didn't like going over 800 to 1600 max ISO. So what an improvement with this camera. So that's it for this video, guys. If you have any questions at all about this camera, please leave it down in the comment below. I think I've covered almost everything I wanted to, but I'm sure there's more features. I mean, this camera is freaking amazing. If you guys have any questions about any features, please let me know. And if you're thinking about upgrading, I would highly recommend this if you need a good photo and video camera. There is still some things that I'm missing on it. For example, for my real estate videos that I've been shooting on my other channel, which I'll link here. So if you're in the Lethbridge area looking for a house to buy or sell, let me know. Shameless plug. But what I am missing on this camera is full frame 4K 60. Real estate photos are, real estate videos. Shooting a house inside, shooting interiors is super difficult, and there's not a lot of room, so you need a extra wide lens. So I'm usually shooting with like a 14 f2.8, and when I put on the crop for 4K 60, it it completely kills it. It's basically unusable. I have to use 1080 60p, which isn't a big deal, but that is one thing that I wish I did have on this camera for video. But if you need a good photo and video camera, this, you can't go wrong. It's amazing. It's a huge upgrade from the A7 III. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys want to see more videos like this, be sure to hit that subscribe button. And if you like this video and found it helpful, please hit that like button. And we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.